Good evening, I'm Chuck Engel.
And I'm Shakara Robinson. Here's what's coming up next on Panthervision. History's most notorious hate groups. And now, the KKK is being used to intimidate students on UW campuses.
Some students are celebrating Thanksgiving early for a better cause.
And one former UWM professor lives 3 stories up in a tree.
Jutting out like this is to rhyme with the wood.
All this and more coming up next on Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. Police at UW-Whitewater are investigating another hate crime.
And this time the crime invokes the name of history's most notorious hate group.
Panthervision's Rashida Butler has the story.
The doors to hate crimes are constantly opening and closing. And the Whitewater community is the latest to experience some unexceptional behavior. Devon Datey, UWW senior, feels uneasy at the moment.
I felt really offended because with me being here almost 4 to 5 years, this became my home.
This is Starren Hall, home and workplace to Derek Guy, one of 3 victims of the vandalism that occurred here. If you look across the street, it's the exact lot where the incident occurred. Parking lot 8 is where the first car was found.
So when I come, I back my car in, so the hood of my car was in the front right here.
The green car on the right is Derek's. This is what it looked like in the morning. Brothers Mark and Moses Nettles found their cars at a different lot.
I went out and I checked my car, and I seen the KKK on my driver door, my passenger door, and also on my hood of my car.
Moses' brother Mark wishes he could rewrite his own history.
I mean, you kind of grow up and when you learn in your African-American history classes and all, you hear about the KKK, but never did you think in 2010 something like this would ever come into play.
There is one good thing that has come from this situation.
Before and still after this, we feel very welcome on campus as, African Americans, so that we feel fine.
Through this tragic situation, 3 friends are walking away with their heads held high and a community who has their backs. In Whitewater, I'm Rashida Butler for Panthervision.
Whitewater police are offering a reward for information leading to an arrest in the case. Meanwhile, the Black student union groups at universities across the state are offering support to put an end to hate crimes. The UW-Milwaukee and UW-Platteville groups are pledging any help they can give. One of the ideas is to organize a multicultural peace rally at UW-Whitewater.
A Marquette University professor is under investigation after child pornography was found on a computer located in his office. The child porn was discovered after another person was using his computer. Police aren't releasing the professor's name just yet, but they are reviewing the content to see if a crime was actually committed. 3 Apple Mac computers are missing from a lab in Johnston Hall. The computers were secured by cables, but whoever took them managed to get the computers free. Theft from classroom labs are rare, but there are almost always cases of stolen laptops around campus. Sergeant Cook suggests never leaving your belongings unattended and keeping labs locked. No suspects have been arrested in the case, and police are still investigating.
Markings from the November 2nd election are still visible on Spates Plaza nearly 3 weeks later. Other chalkings from the election have washed away, but the message to vote for Chris Larson hasn't. It appears the message may have been spray painted rather than chalked. And if so, that would be in violation of UWM and system rules. UWM police told us they are not investigating at this time. According to the rules, markings that require power washing to remove are considered vandalism. Depending on how serious the vandalism is, violators may be cited or subject to district attorney review. Larson won the election for 7th State Senate District.
Now that the election is over, Scott Walker's administration is busy transitioning to the governor's office. as I found out what the new governor might have in store for the UW system. Wisconsin's next governor and lieutenant governor have known each other for a long time.
I met Scott years and years ago when I was a new reporter in Milwaukee, and Scott eventually became one of my best sources at the state capitol when he was a state representative.
But it's a coincidence that they were paired on the Republican ticket.
Well, in Wisconsin, we do it a little bit differently than a lot of other states. In Wisconsin, primary voters actually choose the ticket. So Scott was elected separately in the primary, and I was elected separately in the primary.
As a parent and UW grad, Lieutenant Governor-elect Rebecca Clayfish says that she and Scott Walker want to make college more affordable.
If you employ good ideas in order to make education a less costly process, and you're more creative and you're more innovative with the ways that you're doing it, then tuition will naturally decrease.
Clayfish would not be specific regarding tuition cost, that being the charges UW students pay to their schools each semester. And this has some UW teachers concerned. Donna Decker is a professor at UWM.
When you eliminate wages for people who teach, it eliminates positions and places for students.
She is currently subject to a 3% furlough.
3 days a year, I am supposed to stay home and not work, but I teach and I do as much work as is required to facilitate good learning and feedback for my students.
So will Governor Walker keep furloughing state employees?
Scott has already said that he won't furlough UW employees, the professors.
And how does he propose controlling tuition?
Examinations for credit. And there are a lot of system schools that do that already, but we need to make school more affordable by allowing credits for examinations. Testing out of credits, I'm sure you're familiar with that.
While testing out of credits may require fewer faculty members, it may also be cheaper for students.
The best postgraduate plan we can offer for the UW system students is jobs when they graduate.
In Milwaukee, I'm Chuck Engel for Panthervision. Clayfish says her and Walker are always open to student suggestions. If you have a comment, you can go to their website.
Students are now being given the chance to have their voices heard in the search for UW-Milwaukee's next chancellor. The Chancellor Search and Screen Committee is hosting 2 listening sessions to get input from students and others. There is a session today from noon to 1:30 and tomorrow from 8 until 9:30 in the morning. Both sessions are being held in the conference room on the 4th floor of the Golda Meir Library. UW-Madison is taking steps to eliminate the sale of sweatshop manufactured apparel. The university now sells t-shirts and sweatshirts made in a Dominican Republic factory that pays fair wages. The factory sets itself apart by paying its workers $114 a week, 3 times the local minimum wage. The company also exceeds the university's code of conduct for humane standards in production.
New construction is popping up around campus, and one building is being designed by UWM architecture students. The newest building is planting its roots on the site right next to Sandberg Halls. The building was designed by the architecture department but is now in Washington, D.C. It is being replicated for the university. The building will feature solar energy and service as a meeting space. Interim Chancellor Michael Lovell has also announced that Phase 1 of the proposed $75 million Kenwood complex has been approved. The university can now hire a construction manager to oversee what will be the multi-building research complex on Kenwood Avenue.
A path to success turned into an unpaved trail of tears for Ryan Feig's family and friends. Panthervision's Sean Wiley reports.
Mark Feig remains upbeat about his son Ryan. As a high school graduate and a marketing major at UWM, his parents find him an inspiration.
He was somebody that was always reliable, responsible. People could always,
Correct.
if he was told to do something or be there, he was always going to be there.
Ryan Feig now resides here in Freedom, Wisconsin. He died in October in what his parents call a freak accident. Walking along this path at the 1900 block of Commerce Street, Ryan was believed to be on his way to his brother's house just past Lakefront Brewery after a local pub crawl. It's here he took the 10-foot fall to his death. But his brother Eric understands his decision to go out that night.
Once again, he was a very outgoing guy. You know, he wasn't one to sit at home and be lazy and play video games or anything.
Ryan was an avid skier, marathon runner, and baseball player. Even after Ryan's death, Mark can add one more memento to his son's dresser.
We've already received a letter that they used his corneas, and 2 people have received those.
That one comes from the Wisconsin Blood Center. And over 500 sympathy cards let Ryan's parents know how much he is loved. But Ryan is always around.
The star that to you appears to be bright will be your loved one, looking upon you during the night, the lights of heaven and what shows through as your loved one watches all that you do.
With a star named after him, Ryan continues to brighten the lives around him. In Appleton, I'm Sean Wiley for Panthervision.
The line for Ryan's wake was over 2 hours long. Eric Fieg will accept his brother's posthumous degree at this year's winter graduation.
Coming up on Panthervision, find out how a little push in the right direction and some hard work can go a long way.
And with the end of the semester just around the corner, see how your fellow students can help you ace your finals.
Boy, it's amazing how many stars there are. You know what's really amazing, Clell, is that recent discoveries within the Orion Nebula lend credence to the theory of a whole other solar system, predating our own, of course, the origins of which remain in microscopic gaseous form, thus increasing the chances of our not being alone. Let's see.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
Minor setbacks in school may be discouraging,
but if you stick it out, there can be some amazing achievements later in life.
Want proof? Panthervision's Katie Malella has it.
It's just another quiet day near Salem, Wisconsin, away from the hustle and bustle of Milwaukee.
Let me just get this overhead.
Harry Worth may have escaped the busy city, but the lessons he learned there...
I would say it was a tremendous influence on my whole design philosophy and demeanor.
...continue to impact his life. Harry admits he wasn't the best student in high school.
I was one of those creative kids that was just bored with reading books and doing homework.
And from a college admission standpoint, he wasn't a candidate for success.
My grades weren't the best.
Assistant Chancellor Ernest Spates played a key role in Harry's acceptance to UWM.
He gave me my break in life. I mean, that was my big break.
And in 1971, Harry enrolled in the School of Architecture.
So he accepted me to the school under the condition that I got at least a B average in all my courses the first and second semester that first year. Otherwise, I was going to be thrown out.
All of Harry's hard work at UWM and determination through life led up to this, the 800-square-foot home that he nicknamed the Crow's Nest.
A lot of people in the neighborhood call it the tree house. It's become kind of a landmark.
Harry says this is the smallest house he's ever built.
I used to design larger homes, many thousands of square feet.
And that his home is almost always under construction.
It's kind of like working on a painting over and over again and trying to perfect it.
Harry's time at UWM helped him become the architect he is today. He says he only wishes he'd have the chance to thank the one who started it all.
Time does pass, and we have to thank those that helped us, and I just feel really sad that I was never able to go back and shake his hand and just let him know what he did for me.
In Brighton, I'm Katie Malala for Panthervision.
Harry later became a professor at UWM, and although he doesn't teach here anymore, he says he misses the campus and its students.
A UWM Africology professor is being honored with a prestigious award. Professor Patrick Bellegarde-Smith is the recipient of the Haitian Studies Association Lifetime Achievement Award. Smith is being recognized for what the association says is his singular dedication to the cultural traditions of Voodoo.
Feeling lost in your classes? Well, you're not alone. There are a few things students can do to maximize their academic potential. Panthervision's Lauren Reimer tells us how.
Hiring a private tutor can be very pricey. You may not know that UWM offers free tutoring for students. So when they hear the word free, college students like Emily Jakowowski and Nicole Cremona are wise to jump on the opportunity.
The tutoring program has multiple locations, like in Bolton 120, in all of the dorms, and here in the West Library basement.
The girls come to the tutoring center every Tuesday for a session with their favorite supplemental instructor, Lucas Young.
One way in the repeated measures is that we have to actually further break down the assets within.
And Lucas is a really good tutor. He actually has helped me a lot. Ever since I started coming, I have passed all my quizzes and I've passed my exams, so.
And they're not the only ones. Lucas's girlfriend also comes down here for tutoring.
I come about once a week for different classes.
While Young only teaches statistical psychology, the tutoring center offers help in dozens of classes.
I want to be a tutor because I really feel like I can be influential on the students in their academic lives.
Usually the sessions are semi-private, with 2 or 3 students.
But you got did you get the same assets between your classes?
Yeah.
But with finals just a few weeks away, it can get a little more crowded. In Milwaukee, I'm Lauren Reimer for Panthervision.
Services are available to accommodate students' learning processes, such as group interaction, online, and walk-in tutoring.
UW-Madison scientists have discovered a breakthrough on controlling age-related hearing loss. The researchers found that 25% calorie reduction activated an enzyme that helped preserve hearing in mice. In humans, age-related hearing loss generally begins around middle age as higher-pitched sounds become more difficult to distinguish. Many incoming freshmen worry about the freshman 15, but a Marquette professor has discovered most college freshmen don't actually gain 15 pounds. Her study shows the average student only gains 2 to 6 pounds during their freshman year. The study shows that, on average, male freshmen gain more than females.
We've all heard of Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter, but what about those lesser-known social networking sites? MATC reporter Jordan McCormick tells us which site people prefer.
More than 56 million people worldwide use Facebook. It is one of the largest social networks in the country.
But nothing has done what Facebook has done.
Pastor Melva Henderson of the church World Outreach and Bible Training Center uses Facebook to communicate with her congregation.
In December of last year, I started a journal, a daily devotional journal called Fresh Baked Manna. The first month or two, I had over 10,000 friends, and eventually I had grown to a place where I had to add additional pages. And today we're somewhere around about 22,000 people, 22,000 friends on Facebook that are receiving Fresh Baked Manna.
However, Facebook is not the most favorable among all students.
I use both Facebook and College Convo, but I really like to keep my Facebook friends and family separate from college and classmates. College Convo is a great tool for setting up meetings. It can give me info on anything from sports to local events, and it just really helps a lot with keeping school organized.
So who are Facebook competitors? If you would like to build a portfolio online, you can use MoFace. If you would like to build your own social network, you can use Appleseed. One of Facebook's former competitor is MySpace. To keep up on social status, you can use Twitter, just to name a few. Whether you are a college student or a pastor, you will find many different social internet sites to use to communicate with anyone. So which social network will you use? This is Jordan McCormick with Panthervision.
Last night was pretty warm for late November.
Yeah, but the rain today was horrible. What does it look like for the rest of the week, Chris?
Well, it looks mild today, but Tuesday it actually looks pretty cold, and then Wednesday we might have a snowmaker in the forecast here. But let's take a look here at current conditions first before we get to that. And current conditions here in Milwaukee, it's cloudy with a little bit of light rain. The temperature's sitting at 52. Lots of moisture in the atmosphere with a dew point at 48, and our pressure's at 29.86 and dropping here. So forecast for today. On and off rain showers today, even a rumble of thunder, very mild as you can see. We're going to see high temperatures in the middle 60s. Tonight though, those lows will plummet down to the mid 20s, and I'll have more on that in a bit here. So lows from last night, really comfortable if you can see here. And we're seeing all across the state here, 30s up in Rhinelander and Eau Claire, and then middle part of the state here, 50 in Green Bay, 40 in La Crosse, and then right here the warm front is sitting, and that's why we're so warm right now, 52 in Milwaukee as well, and that warm front is actually helping to get some showers and thunderstorms developing this morning. We actually had a hail report down in Illinois. So unfortunately here we're going to head into high temperatures for today, and it's actually pretty mild as well as that warm front is going to stick with us, and 60s all across the southern part of the state, but that's not going to be staying with us too long as a cool front is going to be pushing on eastward, starting in Iowa going eastward here. And way out into the Rockies, we actually have a bigger low pressure system that's heading on through, and that could be our snowmaker and really could create some hazardous driving for the Thanksgiving weekend here. So forecast calling for tonight, mostly cloudy skies, and we'll see a low temperature in the mid 20s as that cold front does push on through. And our forecast for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies as high pressure builds in between the two low pressure systems. And we will see a high of probably around 36 here. And for our Wednesday, that's when our big storm arrives. Cloudy in the morning, giving way to either rain, sleet, or snow, depending on where that storm is tracking. And we will definitely keep you up to date on that. And then for our 5-day forecast here, Thanksgiving looks pretty cold. After that storm, we're going to have some cooler temperatures. 25 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday looks to be cold as well as high pressure sets in, but as I said, much colder. So guys, it looks like snow might be on the way. Unfortunately, we might have to get the snow shovels out.
Sounds like a mess, Chris.
You betcha.
Thanks. A search for an important sports figure at UWM is officially on.
And find out what major facility is back in the works and might be built right here on campus.
Stay tuned for all this and more coming up next on Panthervision.
University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Visit uwm.edu for information.
It happens every day. It doesn't stop when you reach a certain age. We're all of us learning, even now. You see something in a person's face and see all they struggle to learn. It could be we are here solely to remind each other what must not be missed or ignored, but celebrated. When do we stop learning? Maybe never.
In Chinese medicine, that the body has to move.
Men's basketball and women's volleyball both had big games over the weekend.
We now move to Taylor Thompson for Panther Sports. Taylor?
The plan to bring men's basketball back to campus is confirmed to be in full swing. UWM Interim Athletics Director David Gilbert gave Panthervision new details. The proposed stadium will either be an expansion on UWM's Klatschi Center or an entirely new facility. The Student Association and UW Board of Regents approved an increase in student fees by $25 to help fund the project. The university is currently requesting to hire an architectural firm to mock up the pre-designs. A committee will be appointed to work with the firm to determine whether or not Klatschi will be expanded. Now, this comes after speculation that the project had been nixed after former athletic director George Kuntz took his leave. Search is on to find a new athletic director. Kuntz took his official leave on June 30th after losing his wife to cancer. Interim Athletics Director David Gilbert says Vice Chancellor Tom Lujak has been named the chair of the search committee. The board doesn't meet during the summer, meaning the official search didn't start until November 2nd. However, Gilbert says athletic searches are quick, and UWM can expect a new athletics director by early 2011. The men's basketball team is 5-2 after their win this weekend. They played a fierce game at the U.S. Cellular Arena versus Northern Iowa, snagging an extremely close win at 65-63. They play again tomorrow night against Western Michigan. UWM can expect some brotherly love next year in Panther basketball. The university has received an oral commitment by high school senior Shaquille Not O'Neal Boga of Missouri. His brother is UWM sophomore player Lonnie Boga. Shaquille is a four-year starter during high school and is about to break his school scoring record, set by his brother Lonnie. The Lady Panthers took to the volleyball court, playing Valparaiso in the semifinals. On Saturday, the volleyball team lost all 3 games to Valparaiso. This means UWM was knocked off from entering the championship match yesterday, where Valpo ended up losing to Butler. A new UWM record is set in women's basketball. Courtney Linfors scored a freshman record 35 points and 13 rebounds against Chicago State last week Tuesday. Linfors led the Lady Panthers to their 82-69 victory. Well, that's it for Panther Sports. Have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Back to you, Shakara.
Thanks, Taylor. According to Hunger Task Force, 4 out of 10 children in Milwaukee are waking up hungry, but a fraternity on campus is working towards a solution. Panthervision's Lindsay Spa has more.
So you're cruising down Oakland Avenue, and a food drive is on the side of the road. Usually that is enough to grab your attention, but a 6-foot turkey? The Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity is holding their annual Gobble for Groceries right outside their house. Joseph Rooney says the event helps break the typical fraternity image.
It's cool that we're known for this, at least around the community. We're not just that party fraternity.
The TKE brothers have been stuffing into the turkey suit for many years. The turkey gobbled in 500 pounds of food last year, and the goal is set high for this fall.
We set 1,000 pounds for ourselves.
After the fraternity collects its food, it gets sorted here at Hunger Task Force.
Since 2004, we have collected over 4,600 pounds of food from their Gobble for Groceries promotion that they do.
Dana Hartenstein says the donations are necessary to help those in need.
We're Milwaukee County only, so it's local. So if you donate, it's getting, you're taking care of your own neighbors. And we're free. All of the pantries, shelters, soup kitchens that we deliver to, it's completely free of charge.
To fill their supply, the fraternity simply has to give their time. And what keeps them standing in the street?
Every beep is a little, it's like we're getting pounded with a little more energy.
Apparently there was a lot of honking today. And they all supported a good cause.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving. In Milwaukee, I'm Lindsay Spa for Panthervision.
Thank you very much.
And that's it for today's edition of Panthervision. Thanks for watching and have a happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Panthervision.